Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about some theoretically drawn endgames. Even if your position looks really bad, you can sometimes get away with it with some techniques and also tricks. So okay, let's just get into the video. We have 5 positions. This is the first one. Most of you probably know about this one. So if your opponent has a rook pawn and a bishop, it's very important which color does the bishop control. For example, here it is a draw because the bishop doesn't control the promoting square. As you can see, he has a light squared bishop and the corner here is a dark square. So let me show you what I mean. Even if you lose this pawn, it's just important to get into that corner and it's going to be a draw. So you can play king to c3, for example, and even when he takes your pawn here, you just don't care because you know that this is a draw. Now why is it a draw? Let's see. You just stay in the corner, do nothing. He's gonna have to push his pawn eventually, and when he does, for example, he gives you a check, and you can already see a problem for black, that he can't leave you in this position here because it's going to be a draw. The king has no moves, and of course this is a draw, and yeah, here he basically has to move his bishop, and you go there, and if he pushes the pawn, you just go there, and he doesn't have a dark squared bishop to give you a check, you know, a checkmate or something. So that's a real problem here for him. And of course, if he goes away with the king here, it's again a draw. He can't do anything. Again, this is a draw. So yeah, this is a really basic example here. But yeah, I mean, everyone should know about this one. You just have to get your king into that corner and it's going to be a draw. So okay, let's take a look at the next position. This is from my game. This is of course completely lost. Something like g3 is just winning. I mean, what am I going to do? My only idea is to sacrifice my knight for, you know, 1 or 2 pawns and then just get a draw. So in this position my opponent played h3, which is not great because I can just take this pawn actually. And I'm not just giving him my knight, but the point is that I'm going to get into a theoretically drawn endgame. And okay, what is he going to do here? He has to take my knight basically, and the idea is king to g3. Now the point is that I'm attacking the pawn, he can't protect it with his king, and how is he gonna protect it? He has to push it, and now king g2. That's a really beautiful example, I think. Because why? Okay, this is a draw because again, we just have to get into the corner. We just have to be on these 2 squares and it's going to be a draw. So let's see why. If he tries to come closer with the king, we just go there and he can't come closer because if he does, again, it's a draw. So yeah, I mean, even if he tries to go, somewhere else, you just wait here, you just play king to h1, king to g2 and stuff like this. He can't move his knight because his pawn is going to fall, and he can't protect the pawn with the king like we said, because then again it's going to be a draw and it's just a draw. So yeah, this is a really beautiful example and a really good one to keep in mind. Could save you some points, you know. So okay, another one is this. So these positions are also drawn. You could also have a pawn here and a pawn here, or also without these 2 pawns. The point is that stalemate is again possible here. And yet the only thing you have to do is you have to go to this g1 square. And let's see the point here. For example, king to f2. If he tries to come closer, you just go to g1. And okay, what is he going to do? His plan has to be to get his king here, and that's the only option because he has a light squared bishop. He can't sacrifice his bishop for a pawn or something. That's his only option here. So you just stay here on g1 and f1, and of course if he goes there, you just go to the corner. And again, this is a stalemate. He can't do that. If he tries to, I don't know, do something with the king, he can't, because if he goes there, again, it's a stalemate because this bishop controls all the squares, this king controls the squares here, and it's a really beautiful stalemate again. So this is another beautiful stalemate idea and could also save you some games. Now let's look at a very similar position here with a dark squared bishop. Now you have to remember that this is not a draw, because of course he can sacrifice his bishop for the pawn, or for 2 pawns if his king comes there, and he's just going to be winning with those 2 pawns here. So yeah, you have no chance in this endgame. So when you're trying to get into a theoretically drawn endgame, you have to remember this, that this position is not drawn because of some sacrifices of the bishop for the pawns. For example, okay, we're not even on g1, but let's say he lets us to this square, just to show you what the point is here. Even if we get here to the corner, it's still not going to be a draw, sadly, because like I said, he's just going to take here on g3, and yeah, that's just winning. So yeah, that's the problem here in this endgame. Just wanted to let you know, this ending here is just drawn because he has a light square bishop, and we have our pawns on dark squares, and this is winning for black. So the last example here is this one. This is also a very beautiful one, and a very good one to keep in mind also. Black has a knight and a pawn for, nothing. We just have a king. But we can still draw, because his king is a bit awkwardly placed here in the corner. We're basically, if we don't move, we're basically going to go here or here. That's logical, to not let the king move out. If we play something like this, of course, he's just going to promote a queen. But which 2 of these squares to pick? Now, remember that knights can't lose a tempo, so that's very important here. And how to know to which square you have to go to? Just simply calculate, if you go here, he's just going to play knight here, and he's going to take away this square. And you're gonna have to, go somewhere else, and he's going to promote a queen. So that's why the correct square is f2. So after he checks you, you just go to f1. You don't let the king come, out. And he has to make a move with his knight, Knights can't lose tempi, so he's gonna have to move, and you can go back. And whatever he does, if he tries to maneuver or, I don't know, something with the knight, it's going to be the same thing when he comes back. Again, check, we move, and again, he has to move his knight. He can't move his king, he can't move his pawn, and it's simply a draw. So that's why this is a very beautiful example. Let's just say, wait, let me move this knight. Let me move this knight somewhere. Okay, so now you have a choice. Do you have to go to f2 or f1? That's my question. Please pause the video and try to figure it out. Okay, so the correct square is of course f1. Because if you go to f2, he's just going to come here and just take away this square from you, and you're gonna have to go, and he's going to promote the queen. So yeah, another very nice example here, could save you some games. I think these examples that I've shown you today are very important, and there are many more, but I can't show you all the positions in one video. I hope I'll save you some points with that, and yeah, that's all for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.